9.5% alcohol. I didn't know that you were so into the hard liquor.
I'm not drinking it, it's just going into the dishes. And the alcohol burns off when you cook with it.
Oh, I knew that.
We are making Taiwanese pork belly today.
Yeah.
Pork belly used to be a really affordable cut of meat. Really tasty, but it's fatty. And now it's so expensive. Those hipsters.
Yeah, blame the hipsters.
Well, this was like, what, almost $9 a pound, which is a lot for pork belly, if you think about it.
All right, let's see this cut of meat. Well, I guess you know it's pork belly when the nipples are still on there.
All right, we're gonna turn the saute mode on.
Don't worry, folks, this is still a family-friendly recipe.
All right, saute, I think I'm gonna adjust it to high. See, it went up to high. And adjust the cook time to more because it only goes up to 30 minutes, but I think I might need the 30 minutes. All right.
So the target temp is, I saw 302 degrees Fahrenheit.
Just so that we're clear, this is not a sponsored video, aka I am not being paid by Cosori for this video. All right, I'm wondering if I should cut these off. I'm really weirded out by them. Do you think the Taiwanese people remove them when they cook it?
That's a good question. Taiwanese people out there, please comment on that.
Then I feel bad for like cutting off the nipple.
Oh gosh.
That's just weird. I have to touch it too. I can't get it off. This is a sharp knife too. See, now I've cut off too much. That's just weird.
Okay, just keep going there.
Leave it on?
No, just...
Don't cut my fingers.
Yeah.
There.
Feel better?
No. So you can get pork belly in smaller pieces, but I didn't like the way they looked at the store today, so I went to the Chinese butcher and they sell them in slabs. So this slab is about 2 pounds, and I'm going to cut this up into about 1/2 inch thick. I really like ordering pork belly when I'm out. It's not as expensive in the Asian restaurants as they are in Western restaurants, but it's really tasty, and when it's done right, it's really delicious.
But when it's done wrong, it's pretty gross.
Oh, it's really bad when it's done wrong. All right, the pot is heated up. I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, or canola oil, whatever you have, and saute the onions until they're brown. When it's done wrong, the skin is chewy, and it shouldn't be. Like this part, it looks tough, right? But it shouldn't be chewy.
And what happens with the texture of the fat when it's not done right?
Oh, it's, I don't know how to describe it. When it's done wrong, when it's done right, it just kind of melts in your mouth. But when it's done wrong, it just feels really fatty. Okay, so after you've sliced them into these slices, we're going to cut them down some more. So I'm going to cut them about an 1.5 inches in each one. So we'll cut each piece into thirds. So the onion is now nicely brown, and it's brown. You don't want to just sweat the onions. You actually want them to have some brown color on them. I'm just going to move them off to the side a little bit. I'm going to put in my pork pieces. I'm just going to put it all in, and we just want to brown this up a little bit. That'll take you about 10 minutes of browning. You don't have to stir the whole time, just let it sit for a little bit, brown, and then give it a stir. And do that for about 10 minutes. We're reaching about 10 minutes for the sauteing of the pork belly. And in case I didn't mention earlier, I had chopped up 1 small onion. Okay, while that's on its last minute or so, I'm going to prepare the rest of the ingredients going in. I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, and that would equate to about 3 large cloves of garlic minced, and I'm just going to toss that in there now.
Man, that smells amazing. I know I use that word a lot lately, but dude, that's...
I haven't even put any
so
sauces
good.
in it. It's just pork and onions and now garlic. We're going to start with a 1/4 cup of the Shaoxing wine. One tablespoon of regular soy sauce. 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce. 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. And this is why I just like to estimate. This is not working. I'm estimating.
Glug, glug, glug.
That's 1 and 2.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn it off now. Is this the off button?
Yes.
Okay. Give it another stir before I add the rest of the ingredients. Okay. I have 1 cinnamon stick, 1 bay leaf. Now I've got 2 pieces of rock sugar, and if you don't have rock sugar, then use 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I've got 2 star anise, and I was gonna say, it's like a swollen thumb size of ginger that I've sliced up into about 6, 7, 8 slices.
Are you gonna create like a new measuring standard?
And pour in the rest. And I'm also going to add a 1/4 cup of water, just to make sure that there's enough liquid in there to cook. Give it a stir. Oh, it smells really good.
It smells incredible. This is definitely one of those recipes that you want to make enough rice, because the gravy that comes out of this thing is like, wow.
Right, putting the lid on, locking it into place, making sure that the sealing valve is on locked, and we are going to manual 30 minutes, adjusting the pressure to high and hitting start. That's it. We'll be back in a bit. All right, the cooking is done. It only took 3 minutes to come to pressure, which I think is amazing. I don't remember it, since using the electric pressure cookers, that it would take such a little time to come to pressure, but it did. Let's
Use your finger.
No. Whoa. Making a mess. All right, how does it look? Can you see all the fat?
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna remove all that fat into a bowl and dispose of properly. See, look at that. Can you see?
Yeah.
That's, you don't want to eat that. You gotta get rid of it.
That's all the fats that's been rendered off the pork belly.
That's right. You just take a spoon and just skim the top. So that's quite a bit of fat. So I usually just dump it into a can or a jar and I throw it in the garbage. Do not pour that stuff down your sink. It will coagulate and cause your drains to plug up, your pipes to plug up. You don't want that, do
Nope.
you? All right, we're gonna put the saute mode back on. And we're gonna let this cook a little bit more and let the sauce thicken. So the longer it sits here and simmers, the darker it's gonna become, and that's what we want. We want the meat to look darker. It's been about 5 minutes. I'm gonna turn it off now. And if you look, the sauce is a little bit darker. It's been reduced a little bit. And I'm gonna serve this over a bed of cooked lettuce. This is green leaf lettuce, and it was a whole head. And we just blanch it for about a minute in salted water with a little bit of oil. And we're gonna spoon this over top, and then the sauces will also absorb into the greens. Make sure you don't, you can pick out the star anise and cinnamon and bay leaf as you go. Just garnishing with a little bit of chopped cilantro.
Who's that bowl for?
Well, that is for, do you even know how to use chopsticks?
Better than you. And by the way, it's the taste. You know, when you open up the lid, the aroma and the fragrance just came up. It's like so good. Such a rich fragrance. And the pork belly is cooked just nicely with the fat rendered. So when you put it in your mouth, it's not just a blob of fat, which is pretty gross.
You can't do it all in one chopstick full.
Watch me. Is that a challenge?
Yeah.
I accept the challenge.
Oh, look at that.
Wow. That is a nice pop of flavor. And just like the Hainanese chicken rice, with the sauce that's drizzled over the chicken, it goes through the chicken and onto the cucumber. It's the same thing. So the sauce poured over the lettuce, and it just infuses with the lettuce nicely.
Yeah, the lettuce kind of soaks it in, which is why I like to serve it on the lettuce.
Especially the green lettuce, so it's got a lot of more action happening with the texture over an iceberg. This dish cries out for lots of gravy slathered on top, and you just slurp it all up. So good. Thanks, Flo.
I can't wait to dig in. This smells so good. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and come find me on Instagram. Till next time, be simple, ordinary, and joyful.